Popeye sets the standards of morality on YouTube. Let's talk about the Poopeye. The only missile button he ever had his hand around was when he had a bottle of denatured alcohol in a rag and he cleaned up the dust around it. The symbol of morality that doesn't get involved in anybody else's affairs on YouTube. But he's always talking about everybody. He throws me into the formula with these creeps on here like Barry and the others. Don't even put me in that category, dude. Popeye wants to set the standards for morality on YouTube. Now that's a scream. Now, what has he claimed so far? Military police, he's done this, he's done that. He was at missile control. Yeah, with that bottle of denatured alcohol in a dust rag. He tries to paint a grandiose picture of his illustrious career. Popeye never had an illustrious career. And he hasn't been in the Philippines for what, 35 years? And it's probably been more than half that time he hasn't gotten laid. So you got to understand and give credit when it's due, a little bit. Just a little bit. The guy hasn't gotten laid in such a long time that he's bitter. He's got purple balls. Yeah, I know his troll accounts, and he says he don't have troll. Okay, everybody on here is trying to build themselves up to be bigger and badder than they really are. One thing about me, I don't pretend to be anybody but myself, and you could interpret who I am and what I am any way you want, but that's not going to change who I am. Okay, that's the difference between me and the other people. I speak my mind, but what comes out of my mouth is based on factual evidence, except a lot of fantasy and a lot of conjectures and a lot of delusional thoughts that come out of the mouth of most people on here. And Poopeye keeps on referring to, well, that knife wielding video is what got Barry, to the attention of the immigration. Well, I'm not kind of a guy that seeks to get credit for anything on here, but he's got that all wrong. If it wasn't for me, Barry would not be in that. Good or bad, I take full credit for it. A lot of hard work. It wasn't just a knife-wielding video, which, by the way, I turned in lickety-split when I seen it. But I've also turned in other videos of his threats, his defaming, and so forth and so on to immigration. Long time ago. Okay, that's why he's in jail. Now, Poopeye is right about maybe one thing, that it's likely that Quasimodo is going to be spending a lot more time in jail. That's more likely than not. Now, there's other things to examine. Has anybody been paid off? Has anybody, there's a lot of things in the background that we don't know. And, well, I may know something, but I'm not going to share that with you. But the fact is, by the way, that was a charming show by the Copycat Channel, a letter to the commissioner. The commissioner knows a buffoon when he sees something sent by a buffoon, by an inane drone, by an idiot by birth. Because some of the images on the video were made to look prankish, that's the way the commissioner will take it, if it was actually sent to the commissioner. But that's okay, because I followed a letter to the commissioner in regards to that video, just in case they actually did send that. And I'm sure the commissioner, it wasn't easy to get that job. I'm sure he's quite intelligent. He could figure out bullshit, trolls, from factual evidence. But enough of that. I'm not going to give him any credit on that. Yeah, Frankish. Yeah. So when I listen to Popeye, and he tries to play the man in a neutral zone, Mr. Neutral that doesn't get involved with anybody. So all he does is talk about other people on here. Always mentions my name when he says, he's like a neutral territory with all this. Calls me lots of names on here. And calls a lot of other people names on here. You gotta understand, when you're so frustrated, you haven't gotten laid in like 18 years, it'll play a toll on you. When you have to live in your daughter's house, I'm sure that takes a lot of toll on you. I mean, he's living his life vicariously through all us YouTubers out here. Am I wrong? He feels like he's so much part of the Philippines and has so much knowledge because he lived out here about 8 years, and that was like 40 years ago. The Philippines has changed quite a bit in 40 years. Not in some ways in infrastructure, but the Philippines has certainly changed. All he remembers is the goddamn whorehouses out there. That's his memories of him and the boys getting laid for a couple of pesos or a drink. Now, where did he meet his wife, by the way? I don't even go there. But, all right, as much as Obama is a freak of nature and he could be very violent to women, what do you think Poopeye did? Okay, Poopeye, his woman left him because he beat the shit out of her. as the Quasimodo beat the shit out of his wife. That's why she left him. And what I understand it to be true is that she found a really wonderful man, a gentleman that treats her right. He's not a fucking drunkard sitting there with his pack of Camel and his vodka doing YouTube shows and lashing out at the world because he can't be part of it because he's no different than Big Kevin. He's probably living in the basement of his daughter's house like Big Kevin is living in the basement of his aunt's house, watching the world go by. Goes to bingo, for God's sakes. Rides a little beep beep, little electric motor scooter. That's getting old, friends. That's old. Now that's old. That's old. I'll tell you what old is. Goo, as a Gators use says, Popeye is very weird, dude. He stays home all day wearing metal army hats and acting like he's in the war. I think he's that type. I swear to God, you see it in the Raining Cats and Dogs. Says, hello, Raining Cats and Dogs. How are you? Mal says, Popeye thinks very highly of his own opinions. Yes, he does. I mean, this is a guy that supports Aloe and people like that who say they're going to fuck kids up to the ass and all that kind of shit. And what kind of guy could POOPEYE be if he supports that way of thinking? I think Popeye's actually jealous of all the money that's going out. I think he's the one that's jealous. That's what I think. And, you know, guys, what does it really matter what Big E gives anybody, what Don C or anybody gives anybody? It's not going to change things. You know, you either committed a crime or you didn't. Now, unless you're paying off prosecutors, unless you're paying off somebody, okay, that might have an effect. But there is corruption out here. It's known. I'm not saying anything new about here. And we are certainly not saying that any of these prosecutors, any of these people that they're dealing with is corrupt. We are not saying that. That's a disclaimer. But I'm just saying that happens. Now, it seems coinky dinky that Big E took out a wad of money, both American money. Then he took out a wad of money, which probably equaled close to 500,000 pesos. Well, then Ricky goes, Lady Gaga goes to the bank just prior, okay, to go seeing the lawyer, whose office is right in that community. You see, his lawyer used to work right up in J Mall, right in that building, about 10 years ago, actually. And used to work in that building. And she was a legal advisor for the immigration department. How does Frank know these things? How do I know these things? I must be psychic. Damn, that could be either a curse or a blessing, according to how you look at it. How do I know these things? How do I know Ricky was in that day in SNR at that time? How would I know that? I don't know. It's a curse. Maybe it's a curse. Polly Hogue says, this Popeye defends the bad and does not follow his own demands. He takes over live streams and talks blah, blah, blah for hours. Yeah, I know a few people that do that. Popeye's always right, so he thinks. You got to understand, guys, it's all getting back to getting laid. Look, you meet the most frustrated people in the world, and they're the ones that haven't had sex for a long time. Okay, you got to get that GABA going. You know what I mean? You got to get that feel-good chemical that goes through you, and you'll act better. I mean, me, I could joke and laugh around on here. I must be getting some. But I'll tell you what, I know he's not, because you could tell a bitter old man. Those big ears, you put a swift wind under him, he fucking fly. He'll fucking fly with those big floppy ears of his. Can you imagine him tooting along on his little electric bike? I'd be embarrassed as fucking hell. That little scooter type thing, with a tiny little motor, meep, 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 and he's got his corncob pipe in his mouth and his little sailor hat and his t-shirt on. I'm all for America. When he's heading to the bingo parlor. Oh, I can picture. We got such characters on here. You wonder why I've been on here for such a long time, despite a lot of adversity? I'm going to tell you. Because if I didn't find any entertainment value on here, I would have been gone a long time ago. It's fun, except when it gets ugly, and then you got to do something about it, which I do. But other than that, and kind of moving past the general ugliness you find on here, look at all these characters. You got Brevis, who has a pregnant girlfriend, gets another girl pregnant. He's out in go-go bars while she's home. We got the professor in Bahal that says he can do everything better than anybody else, yet he's living in a fucking shack. A hotel over 7-8 years hasn't been built yet. You got Big Kevin, a big fat loser who's living in his aunt's basement, who tells everybody he's going to go to the Philippines, but he's never going to the Philippines. He managed to pilfer money from Big E and everybody to buy more toys. He's not going anywhere. He can't even walk down to the lake. Let's look at Roberto, who admits he's been sitting on his ass all his life. He's never done any labor work. And my predictions were true that he got high blood pressure. He's on diabetic medicine too. He had a gastric bypass because he was a big fat Samoan slob is what he was. Okay? Fuck this Filipino shit. No, he's fucking more Samoan than he is Filipino. Now, I'm not saying bad about Samoans. I'm just saying that he's more Samoan in looks and girth and all that stuff. Of course he had to get a gastric bypass. The guy was blown up, and right now he's probably gaining the weight back. Well, the gastric bypass will help prevent that. But he's operating some taco stands. Doesn't that sound befitting for him to operate taco stands? You know, we got so many characters on here. I'd have to go through a laundry list of the characters we got on here. I mean, it's incredible. Such distinct personalities, all fucked up though. Then they turn around and point their fingers at everybody else. Nothing wrong with me. I'm one of the normal guys around here. Yeah, we see that. They're all normal. Maybe they're normal when they get off the YouTube. I don't know. I mean, who knows? Maybe it's an act. I don't think it's an act, though, because it's just too intense. So there's Popeye, and all he talks about is if he saw some action. The only action that mofo's ever seen is getting Mr. Clean around the rims of the fucking latrine. That's the only action he's ever seen. And getting that denatured alcohol and cleaning around the circuit boards of the ship. And getting a wet mop on the deck. That's his only fucking action. Military police, my fucking lily white, perfect, wrinkle-free ass. Shit. Military police. That little fucking big-eared fucking thing, if swift wind comes up, he'd be flying in the air. He probably couldn't even carry a fucking gun. It'd be outweighing him. Military police. Yeah, we buy that story. But he talks about everybody, but he comes on his show like his shit doesn't stink. He talks about everybody. He's talking about Big E. He's talking about me. He's talking about Barry. He's talking about everybody. Hey, if I want to talk about somebody, I'm going to talk about somebody like I'm doing right now. I'm not going to pretend I'm not talking about anybody. I'm just going to come out with it and say, yeah, I talk about people on here. I find them, hilarious. I find just about every character on here hilarious. And one of the newest characters is Uncle Jesse. Well, I find him extremely hilarious. And his girlfriend is equally hilarious. I laugh at people like Jasper in the Philippines, who is yet to have one girlfriend in almost a year now, but he proclaims how much he knows about Filipinos and the culture out here. Oh, the guy's making a lot of subs on there. But you see, birds of a feather stick together. It takes all types that gets drawn to your channel, as this guy would too. Jasper in the Philippines. Who would name their fucking kid Jasper? Beyond me, bros. Beyond me. Okay, let's see. Healthy Happy Bama says, Popeye ain't normal. Sure ain't. He ain't the Ricky eating the last Hungarian sausage. Oh, he did. He's sure loving that big ego. Yup. Baggio Drama Club says, at Paul Ipps, tell Ricky hell will be coming to him. Oh, somebody threatening Ricky. Oh, no big surprise. He likes to threaten people, but when people threaten him, I mean, he didn't stand up to Mitch, did he? What's his name? Mick, yeah. When they came over to Bamboozers, whatever that bar was, he apologized to him. He's got a big mouth, big girth, big body, the height, the whole bit. But when Mick Fisher came by, that mofo backed down. And then there was Brevis, who was acting like a tough guy. When Mick Fisher left, I'm locked and loaded, he said. I was locked and loaded. Come on, guys, we got characters on here. That's probably the reason I stay on here, because, I mean, where else are you going to get free entertainment other than, well, the internet price you have to pay to have internet? Kind of goes with the territory. In fact, I got to pay that today. Remind myself of that. It's hilarious, no matter how you look at it. Every one of these fuckers are losers, big losers, who came or wish to come to the Philippines. Okay, the ones that came ran away from something horrific going on in their life in another country. Then they come here and they cause all kinds of trouble, and they wonder why they wind up in jail, or if someone's after them, or someone wants to hit them on the head with a baseball bat. Gee, what did I do? What did I do? Yeah, you keep on asking yourself that question. We got one goober in jail right now, and he's not a happy camper. All the false promises that were made to him. I will tell you something right now. If he gets out of this situation, goes home free, if you know what I mean, and is able to return, tell you what, I'll correct myself in front of everybody. I don't see that happening. I mean, I know things that some of you don't know, but there is a lot of chicanery going on behind the scenes. That much I can tell you. How do I know who's Barry's lawyer that Ricky's been, Lady Gaga has been kind of dealing with? How do I know that? How do I know this shit? I just do. Okay, that's why Obama's in jail, because I figured out where he was. It took a lot of work and how to find the place and get the agents to come at the right time, the right day, the right moment, the right second. 5 agents in a van, accompanied separately by his own personal vehicle, my attorney and one of my informants. That was to lead the agents exactly to where he was. But don't give me no credit. No, I had nothing to do with this, according to certain individuals on here that want to take the credit. Hey, I take full credit. Not all. I mean, there are a couple people involved, my lawyer, my informant, but it was my hard work that got that goober in jail. I'll take the credit. You don't like the fact that I did that? Too bad. You supporting this goober? Too bad. Didn't work for you, did it? Look, at this point, there ain't no money, unless it's really a large sum of money, and you get illegal, and you try to pay off officials. That is illegal, and that could have repercussions. Now, is it possible that could happen out here? Sure it does. Happens every day. We all know that. That's nothing new. Happens in America too. But it's really big time out here. But I can't say for sure that that's what's going on. I can't say it. And even if I know something that's going on with that, I'm not going to tell you directly. I wouldn't do that. Okay, comment reading. Paul Ips. I'm just saying what he told me. I wouldn't want that nut job on my bad side. Breadstick Beavis is the funniest thing I heard in weeks. Man, it's one thing to make enemies on here. I mean, look, we all have our own taste, right? You like who you like, I like who I like. That's fair. I mean, you could like whoever you want on here. But be realistic. Ask yourself the question, if you like somebody, why do you like them? What do you like about them? If you don't like somebody, what is it you don't like? I mean, spit it out. What is it really? Never mind. No. Don't ever share the opinion what somebody else thinks about you because they were influenced by somebody else. Hearsay, all that crap. What is it, for example, people don't like about me? And I'll use me as the target here. Why? Because I speak my mind? I don't take bullshit? What is it? I've done no major crimes on here at all. I haven't done any crimes on here at all. If I did any crimes, I'd be in jail somewhere. There is no case anybody could have against me. There ain't enough evidence to find anything against me. Nothing. Third-party videos, perhaps. I mean, off camera, people doing edited videos, putting AI to work and all that shit. You think these people don't see through that? Now, I know we're called a third world country out here, but they're not that, ragtag stupid out here, okay? They're not that stupid. You may think the police and the authorities out here are stupid, but they didn't get in their positions for being stupid, okay? They know what they're doing. They've heard it all, seen it all. They know what they're doing. And if they don't understand something, they get another opinion from another agent or officer or official, okay? They're not stupid. They know a criminal is a criminal. They know why. They know the elements of why. They know what they're doing. And the commissioner is a real gung-ho guy. And he's really down on immigration overstayers and people who are undesirables out here. That's been proven. How many people we're seeing in the news here and there, left and right, they're getting arrested. I hate to say, but I like to say that Barry's journey is just starting. So if he's frustrated and thinking of hanging himself, well, that could happen because I personally feel, And if it doesn't happen, you can correct me if I'm wrong. You can certainly do that. Okay, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Is that I don't think he's going anywhere. And he does have 5 counts of cyber libel against him. It's true. I didn't make that up. This is not old paperwork that was presented. He was served at the detention center. Lady Gaga doesn't want to acknowledge that because he's too red-faced to acknowledge that. And of course, he wants the donation flow coming in. If he said that to you guys, it would be over. Because people would figure if he's going to go to prison, all this shit, and he's going to be permanently deported, then why do we need to donate? This is strictly a personal adventure from Lady Gaga to line his pockets so he could take his buy me women, to hotels and drinks and everything else. Now his drinking has curtailed because he has really high blood pressure and he gets dizzy. Lady Gaga has health issues, serious health issues. He leads this debaucherous lifestyle because he feels like his brother died relatively early, that he is going to die too. That's why he's out there, and you may feel sorry for him because of that he knows he has some bad health conditions, but it does not excuse, I repeat, it does not excuse his actions. That's it, man. So, how innocent is this guy, or Lady Gaga? And yeah, you got the big enabler out there flashing his money around because he's Mr. Wallet, and that makes him an important man in his eyes. Look, he's not the best looking guy in the world. He's a big galoot, fat. He lost a little weight, but hell, not enough. 6'8", 6'9", whatever the hell he is. They don't last long at that height. They get premature death. When you're that big, 6'8" and above, they don't live long. It's a real mystery, but I've read about it. Even the terribly short people, that are really fidgets, they don't live long. And the giants, giganticism, they don't live long. Look at Andre the Giant. What happened to him? And other people in that nature. They don't live long. But flashing money like that, no, I fool around sometimes. I've done that. But I'm not trying to impress anybody like the big enabler does. The big enabler wants to try to be respected, but he's going around it the wrong way. Flashing his cash. Like that's all he's worth is his cash? What about his character? His character sucks, okay? He has a harem. He spends more time with his ex-girlfriend than he does with his own wife. What is that telling you? They have a three-way? Maybe? I don't know. Do they have an open relationship where his girlfriend don't mind him cavorting with his first girlfriend out here? Something not right with that picture, boys. Well, I guess money gets them all, huh? Flash that money and they come. Build that ballpark and they'll come, right? Flash that money and they'll be there, won't they? Now, of course, they got to get involved with the Quasimodo affair. I got to show myself as the hero, and I got to quote Bible quotes. Well, if he was a real hero, if he was a genuine guy, you would not support and enable somebody, and you're supposed to love and respect Filipinos. Well, why are you giving money to somebody that does not love and respect Filipinos, that all he's ever done was use and abuse them? You know what we say to someone like the enabler? We say, shame on you. Shame on you. You are no shining example of a martyr, of a winner, of a king, of somebody special, that we should give you accolades and whatnot and kudos and whatnot because you open your wallet to a lot of people that's on your fucking payroll to respect you. He buys his respect. He gives money to Nico. He gives money to Big Kevin, to Barry, and to the women in his harem. He buys friendship. You know what, guys? That's pretty fucking sad, if you ask me. That's pretty sad. You know what? When I give money to people, I don't expect anything in return. I'm not giving them my name and say, hey, spread the word around town. I gave you a 500 note. I paid for your groceries at the counter. I don't care if they know my name or not. I don't leave my business card. Just say, this donation was made by Frank Battaglia out of his own heart. And remember my name and spread it around. No, I don't do that. I don't have a need to do that. They know who I am when they see me. I don't have to remind them that I was kind to them. They know that. I'm not trying to impress any of them. I do something out of my heart. He's hurting him because he's saying what you're doing is okay to do it again. He even admits that what he's done was wrong. He admits that Quasimodo was wrong. But yet, he wants to enable him and give him. He's given a lot of money to Barry, Mr. Quasimodo, as we call him, and he continues to do so, no matter what he says. Oh, he gives money to Nico because Nico is a war hero. He's got to put him on the payroll. Well, I guess if you got that kind of money and you have a kind heart, I guess you could do whatever you want with your money. Now, in Nico's defense, and I'm not really pro Nico because he basically kisses the ass and sucks the dick of everybody out there to stay, keep them impressed and to be part of the good old boys club. But Nico did get hurt while he was in the service, so in all respect for that, he did suffer. Unlike all these fucking unsung heroes out here that claimed they're in the military, they saw no action, they were behind desk or had some menial job. One fucking guy was in the Coast Guard getting out tickets, part of the time on a boat. The other part of the time, he's working in a fucking office. Unsung heroes, huh? Why are they a hero? Simply because they serve. Now, Nico, I will give credit to. I find it hard to want to give him any credit for anything because he has a loud mouth himself. Nico got hurt on his job in the military, okay? So he deserves a little attention, Maybe he saw action or maybe action found him with some bomb or something. I don't know what he was near. I really don't know the story behind that. Maybe someday he'll tell us the whole story. He got all messed up. He got disfigured. So, yeah, we could say that Nico, compared to all these losers, maybe deserves a little more attention and respect. But all these idiots that are just, really playing it out, they're in the military and they're waving the flag and rah, rah, and God bless America. I served my company. How did you serve your company? Did you serve them dinner plates? Did you work in the kitchen? What did you do? Or simply because of the fact that you were in the so-called military, you're claiming that I should get a lot of credit. I'm an unsung hero or whatever. Should you really? Well, just being in the military alone is serving your country. All right, on some level, I have to agree. And if they really need you, they'll look at the bottom of the barrel and they'll get you and say, okay, put a gun in your hand, soldier. It's time for you to get away from the fucking desk and it's time to see a little action. That's when they come in and say, I got PTSD. The pencil pushing was so fucking hard for me. Oh, they all get on PTSD. They all get on benefits like, Lady Gaga did. There's a lot of people that done that. I have a tenant that did that. I served my country. The unsung heroes. Well, don't get me wrong. We need a military. We absolutely do. We, as a country, say in America, every country needs some defense. I agree. So in case you're ready to attack me on this, I'm going to just move on with this a little bit. Explain. We need our own defense. Okay. All I'm saying, that these guys that are really playing up what they did in the military and hanging out with the big boys that maybe actually did something and seen action and really did something to serve the military. Okay, maybe an electronics engineer. They would fix the circuit boards and anything that broke down. That was contributing. It certainly was. Having training on how to launch missiles. Really knowing how. Okay, learning how to operate a submarine. Okay, fly a jet plane, a fighter. Fuck yeah. We need those guys. We absolutely do. I'm never saying I'm putting down the military. Ever. We need them just like we need a cop. We think cops are corrupt. But tell you what, who do you call? Who do you call when you're in trouble? You got a problem. You call up the police department. You can only hope that you're going to get a good guy coming down that really gives a shit that you're calling him, that he's actually really going to help you out instead of shoot you. We become very suspicious of our police department in America. The police doesn't trust the criminals. The criminals don't trust the police. They wind up shooting each other. Whoever goes down first wins. It's fight or flight syndrome. This guy looks suspicious to me. Well, maybe the color of his skin means he's going to have a gun. That's bullshit. Why? Because you're a black man or Hispanic? It means you're going to carry a gun if you arrest them? It means that they're going to get ready to pull out a gun. You have the right to shoot them down before you even get a chance to see if they're carrying it? No, that's wrong. That's wrong. Hey, Chuchi says Popeye was a line cook, and Nico, I doubt he even made it out of boot camp. Well, I don't know. Something happened to him, obviously, while he was in the service. He got disfigured. He's got a messed up eye and other stuff going on with him. I don't know the extent of all this damage on the rest of his body or anything like that. I don't know. And I'm not going to pretend that I know. because I don't know. And I'm not just going to make up something just to do a show here. I don't know all the details to that. That's what I've been told. All right? But everybody tries to build up what they did for a living, and build themselves up to be bigger and badder than anybody else. You know why? It's their own self-esteem that they lost their self-esteem. They want people to respect them when nobody else has. That's what it's all about. They want attention. They don't care how they get it. They could get attention for being a really good guy, or they could get attention for being a total fucking asshole. Whatever direction they want to go. Mostly we got assholes on. We all have opinions. Although everybody has an asshole, we all have opinions. Some of them need to be cut a new asshole. Let's see if I missed any comments here. Calf Hathaway says, Black Rain. Big E had new girlfriend now named Honeyco. Host, right, he's big wallet. Well, guys, I don't follow Big E around. I never seen him personally in his home life. But I'll tell you one thing I have noticed, though, it doesn't seem holy to me. He's got a holy alliance with Honeyco, who he admits was his first girlfriend out here. He's been with for a long time. And yet, he's married and has children with Arcelia. So why is he hanging around with Honeyco? And is any self-respecting... Hold on a minute. Oh, the water pickup? Okay. Okay. How much? 5 bottles? 100? 100. Okay. There we go. So, I really don't know the situation. I haven't been there. But there's some unholy alliance going on here. Something ain't right. Something definitely ain't right with this guy. I can tell you that. It's clear as a bell. He's clear as a bell. And while he still was in a relationship prior to being married to his present wife, he was out there fooling around with Chica Caceres. They were in a hotel bed together. Are you guys getting a picture painted here or not? He has a harem. And he jokes about it, and we named it to be a harem. But now he accepts that terminology. He buys the women he's with. I'm sure he does. How can knowing how women are jealous in general, and knowing how Filipino ladies are very, very jealous, how does his present wife, and we're not saying anything bad about his wife, we're just asking the question, how does his Filipino wife accept the fact or allow him to be spending more time with an ex-girlfriend than he does with his own wife, the mother of his children? Guys, you guys' priorities on here are so fucked up. The psychology of a lot of you guys are so messed up. So messed up. And these are the people that always have an opinion about me or somebody else. They seem to put me in a formula when they name all the jerk-offs on here. I've been the only one here with the balls to do something about Barry. All these people that love to talk about Barry to make a show about him, but I'm the only motherfucker on here that has actually ever done anything about it. And thanks to me, he's in a fucking jail cell. Bottom line it out. End of story on that. Because nobody had the gunyos to go as far as I did. Nobody. All talk. They're just looking for entertainment, somebody to talk about. They want to create drama. But nobody did anything but me to put him where he is now. Now, I don't have a crystal ball, but I do have information that's pretty solid. I'm very secure, really, about what's going to happen to him. However, I say, don't always believe 100%. Leave 1% doubt that somebody gets paid off or something happens and that whole scenario changes. But the one thing that's not going to change is that he will be deported. One way or the other. He will be deported. Now, like I said, they're hoping that they fell through the crack with the 5 counts against him. They're not falling through no cracks, okay? They're not falling through any cracks. Now, the one thing they don't want to do is allow him out on bail because he'll go into hiding for sure. 100%. He'll grab his girlfriend and she'd have to leave her business or family and go into hiding. That's what will have to happen if he wants to stay out here. Well, shit, he's did that for 7.5 years in hiding out here, hiding in broad daylight. Ain't that funny? Hiding in broad daylight. The goober used to be at his friend's store out in the street, smoking a cigarette with the hunchback, making rude sounds and saying rude things to women that were passing by. The guy he stood out like a fucking halogen light bulb with his bald head and light skin, his tattoos, and the cigarette hanging out of his mouth and that trail of smoke. How could you not spot him in a crowd? The idiot was trying to hide, but he was trying to hide in open streets, on motorcycles, in stores, on the road, in front of his friend's stores. Now, that's a goober. That's a good one. Chuchi says people who continue. My battery's going out, guy. I'm gonna have to end this. All I want to end up is saying is my battery. I'm gonna go right off here. Don't believe everything you hear on here, folks. It's all bullshit, man. Barry's paying for his crimes. I'll see to that. And everybody has a story to tell about something, like their shit doesn't stink on here. That's bullshit too. All their shit stinks. They're buying people, they're using people, they're attacking people, they're attacking their families. These are the losers on YouTube, my friends. Those are the real losers. With that being said, thanks for a wonderful show. We had over 35 here at the time. Okay, think about what I said. We got harems going on here. We got bullshit being thrown around, false information. Want to listen to somebody? Listen to me. I'll set you straight on something on here. I'll tell you the truth when you ask me the question. Don't get it from somebody else. No. That's why you come to my channel. We'll see you on the next show, guys. Take care, okay? Got a couple of chores to do. So, with that being said, the very people who complain about others are the biggest guilty motherfuckers on. They got a lot to hide. They're losers, psychopaths, and we know many of them on here. Some have a pig nose. Okay, they have interesting features, every one of them. Most of them are fat, and most of them are unhealthy or fucking alcoholics. I'm gonna go by their word of mine. I don't drink a drop of liquor, and I'm good looking. I'm good looking for my age. With that said, guys, have a great afternoon, morning, wherever you come from. We'll see you all again. You hear?